start, I think, with an observation. I think everyone shares this, but lots of collections, not much access to those collections, and that's a kind of fundamental kind of shared problem. But there's also a certain sense that you don't actually know in this context what success will look like. So we're kind of aiming to, we know there's a problem, we don't quite know what the target is. We thought there was a risk sometimes of digitising without knowing what, digitising not entirely sure why. And the impact was to be more than just for the sake of having something online. We struggled a little with who are the audiences, what are the audiences. As I said before, we talked a little bit about aggregation, and still we think it's useful in spite of sort of comments with portals earlier. We still think there's a role there. Being able to find stuff, to use stuff, and to make an impact once they've found the stuff. But there's all sorts of barriers, there are legal and technical barriers. We observed that making a profit is a consistent problem as far as senior managers oftentimes expect us to be able to make a profit on the digitised content that we provide, and that's effectively nonsense. No one can point to a model where that has actually really worked, although there might be others that contradict that. The real benefit is to share content for free and to have some sort of economic benefit coming around in a longer term kind of way. But we can't find any kind of economic model that supports that claim. That's simply something we assert. So maybe that's a bit of research for probably Simon Tanner's done that research already, perhaps. But you know what I mean. Simple search seems to have won. That's right, isn't it? People have given up on anything else, really, and that may or may not be a good thing. Moving on, evaluation. We thought, actually, evaluation, I have to phrase it, by the time you evaluate something, it's already too late. That leaves a position where what you always need is beta, and you never actually release anything as a finished product because it should be developmental, it should be kind of ongoing in terms of its improvement. We noticed that actually trying to imagine what audiences' needs are is really hard because there's a real latency in the product development. You think, I'm going to develop this for the audience, but the audience is moved by the time you get there. So if you're going to do proper user assessment, you need to be actually not assessing the users now. You actually need to be assessing who the users are going to be in 3 or 5 or 6 years' time. And then we kind of broke down a wee bit when we realised that if we could actually answer that question, we love you, Maria, but we wouldn't be here because we would be millionaires with technology companies actually making money out of that question. Anyway, we need sure-footed prediction of technology trends. I think that's what I've written down. I think that would be nice. So if you could arrange that, that might be easier than optimal.
So you could do that, could make a fortune and fund the series.
There you are.
Get my magic wand next time.
These are rather sporadic notes from my imagining, but have I captured?
Very useful. I'm conscious that the last people will probably be covered, so is it okay to just do it physically, geographically? You're okay, you'll be last but not least?
Oh, one other observation, sorry, the thing I can add is that we felt that it was really good, just right towards the end, can we do more to connect cultural institutions with innovation people, with developers, with IT innovation, because we're failing to do that just now. We're not getting the developers from mobile phone companies, from whatever, into museums, nor are museums and cultural institutions really been able to engage with them. And that's a missed opportunity, perhaps.
Some of the next event. Okay, Arati?
Yeah, so we had a very stimulating discussion. So, group 5, mainly,
Okay, just a copy.
so us working in archives, museum, audience research, and universities. So some of the opportunities we identified is the huge impact digital can have with regards to reaching our audiences. Another opportunity is the fact that we get the chance to work in large multidisciplinary projects, joining efforts and working with different types of institutions like museums, joining forces with libraries or maybe industries, universities, etc. combining different media, we also thought it was one of the opportunities of working with the digital. Now, there are certain things that kind of overlap and seem to be both opportunities and challenges at the same time. There was some discussion I heard in other groups as well about our user profiles and evaluating their experience. We thought that the main question is try and define which are our users. Our users can be different. A user can be an average museum visitor, novice, or an experienced museum visitor, or a cultural heritage professional, or a student. So if you want to evaluate the impact and the experience, we might also need to define different and establish different user profiles and categories. We talked a lot about issues that are related to the sustainability of digital solutions we are proposing. We talked a lot about the issues of content creation and curation, as well about challenges related with the technical infrastructure and maintainability of. Well, I'm finding hard to find one word to reflect everything, because another thing we discussed, if I remember well, is that, well, digital can have many variations, right? So it can be an online and on-site interactive exhibit in a museum. It can be a portal, it can be an archive, it can be a database, it can be a thesaurus. So these are also aspects to take into consideration. Now, in terms of, let's say, not exactly gaps, but challenges or future activities, we talked a lot about evaluation with regards of to proving that the digital might be efficient. I heard a lot of things about funding as well, and funding opportunities and maintaining these projects. Well, practically speaking as well, and this also is related with finance. Now, in terms of future activities or what we would like to know see the network maybe achieving, well, the big question in terms of how to evaluate our public's experience. So, which is our public actually? Now, what kind of guidelines can you use, and are there any metrics we can establish so as to evaluate this experience or the impact? Is it possible to have an archive or a repository with case studies that have been evaluating projects and maybe encourage an online community so that we can reach each other and hear or find out from the lessons learned. Another thing we discussed a lot was that it seems that evaluation may mean different things to different people. So is it possible to establish a common vocabulary on evaluation? What it is that we can do to work on that. We also said that it might be useful to be able to find out more about funding opportunities for this type of projects. Also, we identified a gap in the training, maybe, or let's say communication between ICT professionals and cultural heritage professionals. So we thought that maybe having a kind of list or repertory of education programs which are dedicated in the use of digital cultural heritage might be useful, like yes, and also create certain ways or encourage a forum of lessons learned, particularly like cultural heritage professionals speaking and sharing with each other what it is that they learned, because we did discuss that sometimes we don't hear back lessons learned from specific projects. So